team.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We got another chart talk coming at you. Monday, March 18th. Selection Sundays yesterday. March Madness kicking off soon. You know, I got long some DraftKings today. Made some money. Other than that, we went out with a pretty weak market last week. First time in months. We're feeling, market's ready for a pullback. Seems consensus got pretty bearish at the top there. And what do? They gap this market up. They have the mega caps rip. Google, Apple is going to use Google's Gemini AI for its future iPhones. Mega caps rip, save this market once again. And it was a choppy day back and forth, but, I came in expecting a much weaker market. It's like the market shook off last week's weakness. We'll see what we get rest of the week. Other than that, we've got a big NVIDIA event going on. They're announcing their future plans of generative computing and AI and all those things. And then Wednesday, we've got another big Fed meeting where they're going to talk about their rate cutting policy the rest of the year. Jerome Powell's been pretty, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? He's been very vague in all of his details, just kind of saying we're waiting on data-dependent news so that we can cut rates. Been giving us the same spiel over and over again, but the market's been reacting pretty differently to it. But right now, we're still right a stone's throw away from all-time highs. Market's still moving well. We'll see what we get the rest of the week. Other than that, let's hop into some charts. Unless you got any other announcements you want to talk about real quick.
No. I think we're going to jump into some charts.
All right, let's jump into some charts. So, very, very small range day here on the indices. You see we gapped up from Friday's sell-off a little bit. Just kind of chopped around all day. Very weak close, but again, we're still in that range. Closed the day higher, even though, weekday. NASDAQ closed very weak Friday. Closed, outside of the channel, kind of bottom of the channel, just sold off all day. Kind of had that similar action today where we just did nothing all day and then closed very weak. But, as you can see, still in this macro uptrend. Is this trend ready to bend? That's, who's to say? IWM here looks like it needs more time here at the top end of the range. Just kind of flagging. And then, we're starting to see rates tick up again. And this time the rates kind of look like they're on a vengeance, like a tear, where last time they approached this 4.4 resistance level. They flagged out and then failed for a move lower. Now we're ripping so hard into the level. It has me thinking we're going to take that level out, push through the rates, and then, take the market down with it for a, short-term sell-off or choppy market for the next few weeks. But, we didn't get that today. We'll see what we get at this Fed meeting. And then that's kind of it for my market outlook. I'll hop in some charts after, but anything you want to touch on real quick?
Yeah, I'll go over a few. All right. So again, sector-wise, energy is still, cooking. We got this major breakout through this 130 in the energy sector. That's, it's approaching that level. Again, very strong. Again, look at this X on every day and just kick myself that we, me and Jesse, one of the members, we got stopped out break even right here. And we're saying like it looks great. And then, off to the races. So energy still looking really good. Material stocks also ticking these 52-week highs. We haven't seen this price action in the material sector since 2022. So great sign to see, the material sector definitely waking up here. And also telecom finally starting to push out of this little flag that we've seen for the last month and a half here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So, right at the top end of this range, hopefully we see some continuation in that sector. Again, on the weak side of things, you did not really have any weak sectors. Most sectors look pretty strong. Again, we have utilities have been very weak all 2023, all 2024. You can see, this downtrend line that it's been holding. It's kind of starting to base out here, but it's been a little weak. REITs have not really participated much. Again, very rate sensitive. And consumer discretionaries, now they're doing good. They shouldn't be here. So, most of the stuff doing pretty, nothing too crazy going on. Just, definitely keeping an eye on these energy and telecom names. While I'm here, Go over a couple quick charts before I pass to you again. Shake your trip, which I think you'll go over in a moment.
How you got that?
Doing very well. From Friday, we got some nice continuation today. Again, the market didn't do much, but we were buying this trip on Friday through that 27. Got some nice continuation today. I have a break-even stop versus 27, and the first target to take some profits is this, 28 quarter area that we've seen has been some resistance the last couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens with that one. Again, got into this VERX today through this 30. Didn't really get any follow through. Originally, I was going to keep this stop versus 29. But again, if I'm expecting a breakout through 30, then goes 30 cents my favor, and I have $1 worth of risk. Doesn't really make much sense from a sports standpoint. So I took this one off for, very tiny loss, 20 cents a share, pretty much break even or as close as you can get to that. And then still in this SYY, got into this one on Friday through this 81. Again, not the best action today, not what you want to see. But for now, just giving it versus that prior low a day. We'll see if it kind of pulls in a little bit tomorrow. Maybe has another attempt back through this 81. So that's really it on my end. I'll pass it back to you, Shake, and we'll see what you got going on.
All right. A few things I'm looking at. Share the screen again. All right. I really like how this rhythm is setting up. We'll see. This is my trade of the week right here. Rhythm Pharmaceuticals, retesting the support. Very, very, very clear downtrend working here. We see, volumes upticking here, some buying. The slope, this little 45-degree angle lower, they're starting to move it sideways now. It looks like they're ready to break it higher. 41.25 is the trigger. I got triggered into a little bit today through 41. Definitely gonna add heavy through that confirmation 41.25, but that one's looking really good. I like how that's setting up. Jay got us back into DraftKings. This one, how we do this one? So simple as I had on the shakedown. I was staring at this DraftKings. Here's a weekly chart, and let me get rid of some of these. I like how it's just riding that kind of 10 period moving average higher for this next flag. I didn't expect it to just break out today. Again, we went into the weekend, things were looking very weak. So, I wasn't looking to buy a ton of things today. Still, I'm not like sold on the markets, this big bounce coming or anything. It's just still kind of chopping around. But there was a lot of strength that I didn't expect. And this DraftKings was perfect right here. This gave us a great entry here through this 42.60 area. And it kind of and it's set up in a very similar way to last time, where I'll get these moving average back. Here was the market was pretty weak last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, these 3 days here. And this stock isn't getting pushed lower, it's just holding in there. And they call that a beach ball underwater. It's like I think Mark Minervini made that or something. Hold the beach ball underwater, you let it go. It's like when the market's selling off, being held underwater. When the market stabilizes, it's like letting the beach ball go. It explodes higher. And then, you look at this intraday chart of DraftKings today, and this is the beach ball being let go, from out of water. So, and it did it exactly the same way to us as this time over here. Market was selling off to start the year, first week of the year, January 2nd, 3rd right here, selling off. And it was holding in there towards the end of the week. And this kind of gave us the clue to get long. And then I remember it came back and we added again here, and this was the real move there. And it was like, instead of while the market's under pressure, this is just kind of holding in there strong. Market finally upticks, boom, boom, boom. Look at the run that ensues. So that was nice to see set up the way it did. I'm watching this OKTA, just a nice earnings gap. It's within a huge base that's exiting that stage 1, entering that stage 2. So when stocks enter these stage 2 breakout stages, we kind of just want to buy whenever they're flagging on the daily chart, find really great entries, because that's using, either an intraday or daily time frame to get into a weekly chart setup. So that's kind of what we're looking for in this Octa right here. DraftKings. Man, this post is looking pretty good. I got in this one last week a little bit, and then kind of downsized into the weekend. But then what I end up doing, I end up moving my stop, and this thing's, this thing is also has the beach ball kind of effect where the market's selling off, but it's not really moving lower. It's just kind of holding in there, and then we get some bounce out of the market today, and this one, bounces pretty hard. Looks like it could keep running towards highs. Other than that, I'm watching this arm here. I think this might be a feisty little short setup. So this arm is one of the hot semiconductor names, but it's a little different than the rest of the crew. So this is a SoftBank owned name, and this whole huge move was because SoftBank owns 91% of the shares, and only 9% of the float was able to be traded because those shares were locked up, meaning they weren't allowed to sell yet based on the IPO rules and things like that. So this was when the name literally got cornered by the market. 9% of the float is out. You keep buying up the float. Anyone who's short, they're screwed. They have to cover, and it creates these insane moves. That's like a 1930s, like, cornering the silver market type move happened in this arm. Pretty sick. So now where we're at, it got this move, and now it's trading at like a 400 price to earnings ratio, like something insane because it got cornered. So it's like, yes, it's it's exciting. All these stocks are exciting for the future. Something's just too much. So this is kind of like began to break this wedge down. I'm looking at this as a kind of retesting that. And now if it can, it's like a sort of Hing over. If it breaks this little area lower, I'm looking at this like 126, and it's got a nice little trend line there. But we'll see. I mean, everything's gonna be reactive to this NVIDIA conference and everything. So, we'll see if they sell that news. I haven't really dug into it yet or anything. I saw someone put out on Twitter. I said they're announcing the end of Moore's law in this NVIDIA conference. Moore's law is like yeah. Here's what it is. Moore's law is the observation that the number of transistors on an integrated circuit will double every 2 years with minimal rise in cost, by the Intel co-founder. And they're saying, they're so far getting into the future that is being eliminated and everything is solved. Cancer is solved. Everything is solved. So I don't know. I got to dive into what's going on there, but not a ton I'm looking to do. Again, broadly, market outlook wise, breakout stage, very, very easy stage. And now we're in this area at the top where we're just chopping around, trying to make that next flag. This is the difficult action. This is the easy stuff. December, January, February, we were killing the breakout stage. Now we're seeing things get a little more difficult. Take our foot off the gas. Don't need to trade as much. Don't need to be in every idea. When you're in these trades on the way up, you're gonna get bailed out by the market a lot. Now the market's so choppy. Like, let's look at a 30-minute. You get rid of all these moving averages, so we can see it's like, here's a 30-minute over the past week or two. This is just choppy death. Look at this, chop. Every time we rip new highs, we sell off. Every time we rip new lows, we find buying. So very difficult conditions here. Don't need to do too much when it's difficult. Trading, we want to make it as simple as possible, and right now it's more of a difficult time, so do less when it's difficult. Simple stuff.
Okay.
That's all from me.
I got a couple other charts. I'll go really quick. We got this Ally Financial, ALLY, set up for this little 38 breakout versus 37. Pretty tight here. There's a few of your shakedown ideas. I'm going to run through really quick. We have this ANIP.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get to go through them yet. Ooh,
Yeah.
ANIP.
Looking, pretty tight here.
The thing is that I traded that 2 weeks ago, and it was so difficult to trade because it's so thin.
Yeah.
So it's like you just got to have a buy stop and a far away sell stop. And you got to know that on that sell stop, you're probably getting $1 of slippage. So there's a little more risk in those names than you really know.
Yeah. Next, we got the Shopify. Based
Shop
on
looks great.
through this, through this 80, looks really good. We got RYTM.
Yeah. That's why I talked about this. That's beautiful.
Yeah, right up to that 41. We got Frog, which I know you had it initially as a short.
I know it looks so great. Well, I'll tell you why. All right. I'll tell you why I had it as a short. I had such a great trade, a very, very similar setup in net last week, and it saved my week. I had You see, just those. Yep. Okay. So you see those two inside days at the bottom end of the channel there?
Mhm.
So I got super, super heavily short through that just to the bottom end of the range. I covered pretty much all of it Friday. And I just had so many long ideas. This absolutely saved my week. I would have been down 2%. I made 2% in this net short, just with that little move, because I was able to get that tight short entry, because the daily contracts into such a tight way. You can get a ton of stock right there, short there, and then cover into that weakness. I covered Friday at the close, and it was a great setup. And Frog looked like it was setting up the same way. Gaps up on earnings. See
Yeah,
what I'm
it's literally
saying?
identical. Yeah.
Without today's candle, it's almost the same setup. It's
Yeah.
just that the market bounced today.
Yeah, that, and last but not least was this TWST. A little support buyback, kind of pulling into support here. We got support here at this 32, pulling in, and looking for that little support buyback back up through that 35. So
Yeah, check out CRISPR too.
which one?
Crisp. Oh, damn, ugly close in that one. Never mind. Working on this area.
Yeah. So just a couple quick names.
It's not good for my rhythm.
All right, that's all I got.
Right. All right. Well, slowing down on the keys, less executions while it's more difficult. Definitely want to be more selective in those ideas. And we'll take it one day at a time while the market's chopping around. That's all I really got for you guys. So like, comment, subscribe. We got all the answers to your questions if you got them. So other than that, catch you guys next week.